திருமல யாத்திரை செல்ல வேண்டும் என் திருமலையப்பனை சேவிக்கவே.
ராதே ராதே. ஹரே ராம 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 ஹரே ஹரே, ஹரே கிருஷ்ண 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 ஹரே ஹரே. நமோ நம சத்குருभ्यो நமோ நமः. நமோ நம சத்குருभ्यो நமோ நமः. ஹரே ராமேதி கிருஷ்ணேதி நாம சங்கீர்த்தனம் சதா லோகக்ஷேமாய குர்வந்தம் பிரேமிகம் சத்குரும் பஜே. ராதிகா குஜகஸ்தூரி குங்குமாங்கித வக்ஷசம் ஸ்ருங்கார ரசமூர்த்திம் தம் பக்த கோலாகலம் பஜே. கலயே சுந்தராகாரம் சதைக பிரியதர்ஷனம் அஜ்ஞானநாசகம் தேவம் சத்குரும் முரளீதரம். முரளீமண்டித கரகமலம் முனிஜனமோகனம் வியத்யஸ்தபாதம் வனமாலாதாரிணம் பிரேமபக்தமண்டல நித்யகீர்த்திதம் பிரேமிக வரதம் ஆஸ்ரயேகம். நாராயணம் நமஸ்கிருத்ய நரம் சைவ நரோத்தமம் தேவீம் சரஸ்வதீம் வியாசம் ததோ ஜெயம் உதீரயேத். வைபவம் திவ்யதேசானாம் புராணேஷு பிரகீர்த்திதம் கதிதம் காவ்யரூபேண கிருஷ்ணப்ரேமிகசூரினா. தீர்த்தஸ்நானபலம் சர்வம் க்ஷேத்ரயாத் பலம் ததா பட்டதான் ஷுண்வதாஞ்சாபி சுலபம் நஹி சம்சயः. நம ஸ்ரீரங்கநாதாய காவேரி மத்யசாயினே அர்ச்சாவதார ஸ்ரேஷ்டாய சர்வமங்களதாயினே. சமஸ்த கல்யாண குணாபிராமம் ரமாணிவாசம் ரமணீய காத்திரம் சசங்கசக்கரம் ஜகதாம் சரண்யம் ஸ்ரீ வெங்கடேஷம் சரணம் பிரபத்யே. நாம சங்கீர்த்தனம் யஸ்ய சர்வ பாப பிரணாசனம் பிரணாமோ துக்கசமனः தன்னமாமி ஹரிம் பரம். ஸ்ரீ ஹரயே நமः, ஸ்ரீ ஹரயே நமः, ஸ்ரீ ஹரயே நமः. சத்குரு மகாராஜ் கி ஜெய். ராதே ராதே. With the immense blessings of our beloved Guru Maharaj, we are undertaking this divine journey to the 7 hills. Last satsang we saw a wonderful aspect of our Purvacharyas, how they lived the bhava of looking at the 7 hills, Saptagiri, Tirumala, as aprakritam, divine. And how we saw the 3 generations of Purvacharyas, our Sri Shaila Purna, our Bhagavat Ramanujacharya, and Anantalvan, how all the 3 of them saw anything connected with Tirumala is divine. It is divine. And that which is divine is obviously beyond words and thoughts, isn't it? When Bhagavan is beyond words and thoughts, the divine form of Bhagavan is beyond words and thoughts. The divine Swarupa of Bhagavan is beyond words and thoughts. Even one divine quality of Bhagavan cannot be grasped by words or thoughts. How can we ever say we are going to tell Venkatesha Vaibhavam and I have finished talking about Venkatesha Vaibhavam? Not possible. Our Sri Anna cautions. Our Sri Anna very beautifully has written Telugu Kirtan celebrating Venkatesha Vaibhavam, Venkatachala Vaibhavam. In that he says, Atlu itlu yani cheppa taguna ee shaila mahima brahmadulaku kuda. Can even Brahmaji, who is the repository of all knowledge, because he is the very form of Vedas, and Vedas are the source of any knowledge, even Brahmaji cannot describe in entirety this Sri Shaila Vaibhavam or Venkatachala Vaibhavam this way or that way. Itlu atlu yani cheppataguna. Is it possible to describe it this way or that way? Not possible. Yet, we are trying to talk about Venkatesha Vaibhavam. ఏట్లు చెప్పేదను పామరుడైన నేను నిగమ గోచరమైన నిత్యానందుని మహిమ. And Sri Anna, out of the tremendous humility which all Purvacharyas have as their second nature, says, how can a Pamara, a common man, talk about the greatness of Venkatachala Mahima when even Brahmadi Devas do not dare to say that I have talked about it in entirety. It is beyond limits and we are very limited. And that's the greatness of Venkatachala Mahatmyam. Even if our Adisesha Alvar with his 1,000 tongues starts to describe the greatness of Tirumala Vaibhavam, he would also not be able to describe that, even a portion of that. Such is the greatness of Tirumala Vaibhavam. Yet we are talking about it. Why? Bhagavan has given us Vak. And the purpose of Vak is to celebrate Bhagavan, to celebrate anything associated with Bhagavan, celebrate the divine abodes of Bhagavan, celebrate the divine names of Bhagavan. So, the purpose of Vak is to celebrate Bhagavan. Just like how a small child, knowing very well that the mother has kept a delicious dish somewhere on top of an almirah, knowing that, yet the child keeps jumping, knowing very well that it cannot reach it, yet it finds joy in jumping, trying to reach for it. Likewise, we are also employing this wonderful gift given to us by Bhagavan in form of our speech, to talk about the divine abode, divine qualities and the divine descent of our Perumal in form of Srinivasa Perumal. Generally, most of us would have undertaken this joyous divine journey of walking to ascend the hill to have the darshan of Srinivasa Perumal, isn't it? The first Gopura which we encounter is what is called as a Kali Gopuram. Generally, the name Kali in Telugu means breeze. And when we walk, after we start from the foothills and we start ascending, obviously the body has limitations, Sarira Dharmam. So by the time we reach Kali Gopuram, I am sure our knees will start announcing its presence in form of pain. Na irke, na irke. And we would be sweating a little and we will take a little rest. Pada, Govinda. At that point of time, you know what happens? Bhagavan has arranged for a lovely divine rejuvenation. Our Vayu Bhagavan wants to do Kainkarya to all the Bhagavatas who are ascending this hill, isn't it? Anybody who undertakes a journey to walk those steps to see the Bhagavan, to have the darshan of Bhagavan, is a Bhagavata. So, our Vayu Bhagavan collects the sweet fragrance from the nearby sandalwood forest, which is the gift of Bhuma Devi to 7 hills, or her Kainkarya for the 7 hills in form of lovely sandalwood trees. And Vayu Bhagavan collects the coolness and the fragrance from the sandalwood forest, and while we are sitting inside the Gopuram, it tunnels this wonderful waft of breeze, and immediately we feel a divine rejuvenation in the body. We feel rejuvenated mentally, and we feel rejuvenated spiritually, and then we are ready. Rama Ramana Govinda Govinda, Yeduguntalavada Venkatramana Govinda Govinda, and we are ready to walk with this enthusiasm to have the darshan of Perumal. Likewise, that's the first Gopuram which gives us this tremendous enthusiasm to continue the journey. So that's how Bhagavatas walk from their native village to have the darshan of Perumal. Now Perumal saw that 7 hills are ready. my beloved Adisesha has kept everything ready. The abode is ready. Now I have to descend. Bhagavan always gives a chance of Kainkariya. Just like how when he descended as Ramachandra Prabhu, he gave Kainkariya even to the wonderful army of Vanaras. Our Seshadri Shai, our Srinivasa Perumal in the wonderful abode of Milky Ocean announced to everybody that look here, I am ready to descend to this divine abode of Sri Shailam. Anybody who would want to accompany me are welcome. If you want to come with me, come. When Bhagavan is giving such an opportunity, would any companion of Bhagavan ever let go of this opportunity? Why Bhagavan? Even our Guru Maharaj, I shouldn't say even our Guru Maharaj. When a Guru Maharaj says, I am going on a Sri Vana Yatra or Sri Shaila Yatra, would anybody ever say, hey, no, I'll pass? Immediately, this is a God-sent opportunity, God-given opportunity, literally. So all the companions said, let's all start. I am going to go to Bhuloka now. Now Bhagavan, along with his companions, has the power, capability to disappear in Shirabdi and appear on top of Venkatadri. Yet Bhagavan thought, when my beloved children, when my beloved devotees, when they want to go to Tirumala, how will they do that? A month or at times even 48 days before the journey, they start observing cleansing, fast, etc. Some rites and rituals, taking bath early in the morning, doing puja to our Venkatesha Perumal, chanting the divine names of Perumal, and during the journey they wear pure yellow cloth, a cloth which is immersed in turmeric powder, and then they wear Urdhva Pundram, they wear Tulasi Mala, and then with the constant chanting of Rama Ramana Govinda, Govinda, Yeduguntlavada, Venkatramana, Govinda, Govinda, constantly chanting the divine names, they walk. Some of them even carry a small hundi with a cloth, yellow cloth covering it, with a small slot, collecting contributions from the whole village, giving everybody a wonderful divine chance to be a part of this holy yatra even if they can't walk, and collecting all the contribution, not even using 1 paisa for the journey, and they offer all that contribution to the Srivari hundi of our Tirumala Srinivasa Perumal, isn't it, near the Sannidhi. When Bhagavan saw his children walking like that, Bhagavan thought, I also want to come physically in the sense he wants to undertake the procession. And one more thing, Bhagavan also likes this procession. How do we know that? When he himself descended, when Srinivasa Perumal himself descended as Bhagavan Sri Krishna, we don't separate Srinivasa Perumal and Krishna, they are one and the same. When Bhagavan himself came down, the very day he was born, when he had the power to make our elder brother of Bhagavan, our Balramji, disappear in the womb of Devaki Mata, reappear in the womb of our Rohini Mata, could he not have disappeared from the jail in Mathura and reappeared beside our Yashoda Maya? He wanted a procession. So he told his father, let me relish the procession the day I am born. Take me on top of your head like a Purappad. And while he was walking, automatically Bhagavan ensured the procession had no hindrances. The doors opened, the manacles and shackles, they just fell down. And our Adisesha became the umbrella when he walked, isn't it? Likewise, when our Shirabdi Sai, when our Srinivasa Perumal decided to undertake the procession from Milky Ocean to the 7 hills, the first person, Adiseshan, even though he was in one form as the 7 hills, in another form he immediately came and said, I shall become the divine umbrella. Central Kudayam. Umbrella was ready. Bhagavan looked at both sides and Nanda, Sunanda, Kumuda, everybody took, each of them took one accessory for procession. Nanda and Sunanda took Chamaram, And other companions took the alavattam, which is the hand fan. And there has to be chanting of Vedas when Bhagavan's procession happens. Brahmaji himself came, the very form of Vedas took the actual divine seva, Kainkarya of chanting the Veda Parayana while the procession was going. Surya Bhagavan took the Divaratana to start the yatra. And Vayu Bhagavan did his wonderful seva of gentle waft of breeze to please Bhagavan when he is walking. And Bhagavan boarded a divine chariot. And the charioteer, no points for guessing, our Periya Tiruvadi, Garuda Alvar, who is the mount of Bhagavan, he himself was the charioteer. And this divine procession started. When a divine procession starts, there has to be somebody playing the damaruna, dum, dum, dum. Our Kailasapati came rushing, took the damaru, dam, dam, dam. Whole procession with kinnaras, apsaras, dancing and singing. The whole procession started. We have missed a significant persons in this procession, divine personalities, our own mothers. Sridevi and Bhudevi immediately took their abode in the vast sandalwood-like divine vakshasthala, chest of Bhagavan. They took their abode in Bhagavan's chest, making him Srinivasa. Because both of them were clear. Sridevi was very clear, Tayar was clear. Agale gillen irayum yendru alarmel mangai urai marba. She said, I shall not be even separated from you for even an iota of time or iota of space. You see. So she took her abode in the vakshasthala of Perumal, and hence became the very compassion of Perumal. And that was very important for Perumal when he descended, because as Archavatara, the striking quality of Bhagavan is compassion, 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 and tolerance, tolerance, tolerance. Sridevi, Bhudevi. Sridevi is our Daya Mata, and Bhudevi is our Kshama, Kshama Mata. Both of them took their sthana in the wonderful vakshasthala of our Perumal, and they are ready. The procession started. The moment we say Srinivasa Perumal procession, our Guru Maharaj remembers the wonderful kirtan we all sing before any bhajan. It's a part of what is called as thodayamangalam. This was graced by a great Mahatma called Vijayagopala Yathi. His adhishtanam is in Polagam, near the Tanjavur Kumbakonam area. And immediately when Bhagavan started his procession with Sridevi, Bhudevi in Tirumala, our Vijayagopala Yati Swami starts doing the kirtan to welcome Swami. Whenever our Swami starts on a procession, there has to be somebody with a small dandam who says, Parak, Parak, Parak. Don't have your eyes outward. Don't have your eyes inward, rather. It is the entire Lord of the universe, the great Lord of the universe is coming on a procession. Look, 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 Parak. And they say, Hechariga, Hechariga, and inviting Bhagavan on a procession and alerting everybody, don't miss a chance. The Lord of the universe, Sarvaloka Sharanyan, the sole refuge of all the worlds, is now coming on a procession with our Sridevi Tayar and Bhudevi Tayar. Be alert, don't miss this. We call it Parak, na? So, our Yati, who is a sannyasi, not only had a dandam, more than that he had a veena to talk this, to actually announce this arrival of Bhagavan as a royal divine procession. So, our Perumal in Tirumala is walking. This is how you should see this. Sridevi and Bhudevi Tayar with Perumal. And when our Vijayagopala Yati saw this wonderful sight, immediately took his veena. His body was thrilled with divine joy. Tears of joy started flowing from his eyes. With choked throat and horripilated body, he starts singing. Devesha Gana Aradhita Divyambuja Pada Shri Venkatachala Srisha Hechariga Jagadisha Hechariga. How is he singing? Bhagavan is coming this way. Our Vijayagopala Yati Swami is facing Bhagavan, and as Bhagavan is progressing without losing even a second of this divine sight, constantly looking at Bhagavan with loving eyes, he is moving backwards. Bhagavan also looking at this lovely Yati, a great devotee, a great prema bhakta of Bhagavan. Bhagavan did not lose sight of his devotee, devotee did not lose sight of his beloved Lord. Both of them are moving. Can you see this? Next time when we hear this wonderful Hechariga song, never fail to remember this lovely scene. Srinivasa Perumal, Thayar, Sridevi, Bhudevi, and of course they are coming in a palanquin, but for us as a bhava they are walking. The big praharam of our Tirumala, and our Vijayagopala Yati is singing this song which all of us know in Bhajana Sampradaya, and he is looking at Bhagavan walking each step backward with his lovely tinklets feet sounding. Don't ask sannyasi wearing tinklets and all that. This is Bhagavata Dharma, so have your bhava. And while he is doing the kirtan, our Devesha Gana Aradhita, Devesha Gana Aradhita. While Perumal is moving, all the wonderful devas and the Lord of Devas, who is Indra himself with his 1,000 eyes, could not feel satiated with this lovely sight of Bhagavan walking majestically like an elephant. And here, Devesha Gana Aradhita, this Indra with his 1,000 eyes felt, my 1,000 eyes are useless. I need 10,000 more, million more to see the lovely lotus feet of Bhagavan taking that step, thak, 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 softly, beautifully, majestically. So, Devesha Gana Aradhita Divyambuja Pada Shri Venkatachala Srisha Hechariga Jagadisha Hechariga. How did our Indra do Aradhanam? Like any Bhagavata would. In our Venugitam, our gopis are saying, even the deers with 2 eyes, Pujam Datur Virachitam Pranayavalokaihi. They are doing puja with a loving, can I use the word gaze? Can I use the word look? Likewise, our Indra with 1,000 eyes was not feeling satisfied, looking at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, like a lotus touching the ground, almost touching but not touching, and moving. Imagine the 2 lotus feet of Bhagavan. And our Vijayagopala Yati is relishing this wonderful scene. That's how Bhagavan must have descended from Kshetrabdi to our Saptagiri. Seshachala Nilaya Varabhusha Manivalaya Roshadi Vijayi Mauni Videya Hechariga Mauni Videya Hechariga. This is what is called Rupakathalam. You see, Rupathalam. And our Perumal, when our Vijayagopala Yati is playing the song, Allah, he is synchronizing his walk with the Thalam. Seshachala Nilaya Varabhusha Manivalaya. And our Perumal, Seshachala Nilaya Varabhusha Manivalaya, is walking this way majestically, in complete synchronization with the lovely Thalam. And he is wearing lovely tinklets, and as the song started picking up the tempo, this Bhagavatar could not hold himself. He started jumping Rosha Devi Jayi Mauni Videya Hechariga. As the tinklets of our Bhagavata's feet started tinkling, our Bhagavan wearing the golden tinklet started synchronizing that tinklet, and now what happens? Our Bhagavan had to walk faster because of the bhava of this Bhagavatar, and Bhagavan had to follow the talam in his steps, isn't it? The rhythm in his steps. And then as he started singing, Rosha Devi Jayi Mauni Videya Hechariga, Mauni Videya Hechari. Bhagavan said, hey, Swamin, stop. Why? Stop. And he says, why are you now making me dance like this? Why are you now rushing me like this? Why can't you sing this song a little slower? This actually happened in our Vijayagopala Yati's divine life. When he lost the control of himself because of Unmata Avastha, he started singing fast. Rosha Devi Jayi Mauni Videya Hechariga, Mauni Videya Hechariga. And immediately Perumal said, stop, don't rush this song. I can walk any speed you want to, I can jump anywhere I want to. Are you not observing that our Devis, Sridevi Tayar and Bhudevi Tayar are along with me? If I come alone, then it is, in Tamil we say, Ni achu nanach. I am ready to jump, I am ready to dance with joy in any tempo you sing. But with my Komala, gentle Devis, you should be slow in your tempo. And I can come as a Madagaja Gamana. The two Tayars walk like a gentle swan only, na Anna Nadai, Anna Pakshi Nada, Hamsagati. And so our Bhagavan looked at Bhagavata and said, sing slowly, so that my Devis can come to step with the rhythm of your song. And Bhagavan ordained that to the Yatishwara through the Archaka. When an Archaka is pure, Bhagavan speaks through the Archakas, through the priests. Immediately, our Gopala Yati said, okay. Rajani Charavaranayaka Kalavana Mala Vrajapalana Vara Vijayagopala Hechariga Govinda Hechariga. And Bhagavan resumed his normal slow gait, and our Tayars could catch up with the speed of Bhagavan's walking once Bhagavan ordained that great Bhagavata to sing in a normal gati, in the normal pace. And our Bhagavan, along with our Sridevi and Bhudevi Tayar, started on his journey towards the 7 hills. And our Perumal descended with Sridevi Tayar, taking her place, her abode, onto the vakshasthala, onto the broad chest of our Perumal himself. Who is our Mahalakshmi Tayar? She is the very embodiment of compassion, of mercy, of grace. And she decided, only when I am in a supreme place, in a high place, I can be complete in showering grace upon one and all. Bhagavan himself decided, let me stand on top of a hill so that my grace, my wonderful kataksha, the divine grace look, can actually encompass everyone below. If somebody stands as a part of a crowd in the same line, then in the eyes of the person who is beholding the scene, not everybody would be visible, isn't it? But if a person goes and stands atop a 7-storied building, then the entire view is visible. Bhagavan can see everything from on top of 7 stories. Likewise, our Perumal thought, if I stand on a normal ground, then maybe not all can be the recipient of my divine look, divine kataksha, sidelong glance. So Bhagavan decided, let me stand on top of 7 stories, being the Lord of 7 hills, so that nobody escapes my divine grace glance. And that is the reason why Bhagavan stood on top of the hill. Another reason our Sri Sri Anna says is, Bhagavan is not just the Lord of humans. Na? Bhagavan is Sarva Loka Sharanya. Bhagavan is the sole refuge for all beings, covering all the 7 lokas. So Bhagavan decided, if I am in Kshirabdi, only Devas can come. If I go down to earth, then humans can come. If I can stand somewhere in between, Devas can also come and do their puja. And in Venkatesha Ashtotram, it says, Nishi, in the night, Deva Ganarchitayai Namaha. Perumal is worshipped by Devas during the night time when nobody is around. Devas come, do their worship and leave. So Bhagavan decided, let me not be on earth perfectly. Let me not be in Kshirabdi. Let me find a place which is easily accessible by both Devas and Manushas. And so he stood on top of the hill, accessible to the beings of the earth, accessible to the other heavenly beings, and so he stood on top of the 7 stories called Saptagiri. So Bhagavan decided to stand on top of the hill so that his glance can cover all human beings. When Bhagavan has that intent, our mother, won't she have the same intent? So she also decided, let me take an elevated abode so that my Kataksha can also be covering all the human beings. So she took a little more elevated approach and sat on the wonderful divine vakshasthala, divine chest of Bhagavan, so that her compassionate glance and grace will ensure that nobody escapes and everybody is blessed by her. And she sat on the vakshasthala of Perumal. Now, of course, the love between Perumal and Tayar is immeasurable, unthinkable. When I say unthinkable, beyond thought. So did Tayar climb the chest of Bhagavan and did she sit there? Or did Bhagavan ask her to sit there? Did Tayar sit in the chest of Bhagavan for the joy or divine joy or akladam of Bhagavan? Or did she sit in the chest of Bhagavan for her own joy? If you see, actually, mother, neither for her joy nor for even Bhagavan's joy, she is sitting in the vakshasthala. That mother of the universe is sitting in the divine chest, vakshasthala of Bhagavan, to bestow all the human beings with the joy which comes out of her compassion. And a mother is a mother, whether it is day or night or now or few years later. A mother won't say, my motherly compassion ceases after 6 p.m. or my motherly compassion ceases after you are 80 years of age, and motherly compassion ceases once you leave this place. Likewise, Divine Mother, she is the mother. And our Swami Deshikan, the Acharya, in Daya Shataka says, Karuna amiva rupini. The Sridevi Tayar is the very embodiment of compassion, and since she is the mother, her compassion transcends space, time, or even Vyakti, individuals. A mother is a mother even if the child is a little crooked. Mother is a mother if the child is a little afflicted. Mother is a mother even if the child is doing well. She is a mother to everybody. Na? Likewise, our mother, Sridevi Tayar, decided that I shall ever be inseparable from the Divine Lord, so that without fail, without exception, all the time, for everybody, our Srinivasa Perumal bestows compassionate grace and mercy, and compassionate grace and mercy alone at all point of time. So she sat on the divine vakshasthala of Perumal with this wonderful vratam. Agalagillen irayendru. I shall never move away even for a second or a microsecond from this Perumal. And Alvar is celebrating this infinite compassion of our mother. Bestow grace upon us with this Pasuram. Agale gillen irayum yendru armel mangai urai marba nigaril pugazhai ulagam moondrudayai என்னை ஆழ்வானே நிகரில் அமரர் முனிக்கணங்கள் விரும்பும் திருவேங்கடத்தானே புகழொன்றில்லா அடியேன் உன்னடி கீழ் அமர்ந்து புகுந்தேனே. This sums up the bhava, the divine mood and approach of all devotees towards our Srinivasa Perumal. Surrender, taking refuge. They may actually cuddle, they may talk in sweet tones with other Perumals. They may even talk in sweet tones about Srinivasa Perumal when they are away. The moment they are in the holy presence of our Srinivasa Perumal, all the Alvars raise their hand above their head, fold their hand as pranamam and fall down flat in complete spirit of surrender, in complete spirit of Sharanagati. And they say, I have no other refuge. You are the sole refuge. So accept me under your feet so that I don't get afflicted by this samsara. I don't have any other refuge. Accept me. புகழொன்றெல்லா அடியேன் உன் அடிக்கீழ் அமர்ந்து புகுந்தேனே. That's what you and I would feel when we stand in the Sannidhi of Srinivasa Perumal. Prabhu, Govinda, Sharanagati, Sharanagati, Prapatti. Sarvaloka Sharanyashri, Seshadri Shikara Prabhu, Abhayam Dehi Govinda, Makhyam Dinaya Madhava. This is the words of our Sri Sriyan also. This Pasuram, Agaligillen Irayum Yendra Alarmel Mangai Urai Marba, is a very, very remarkable Pasuram. If devotees of our beloved Guru Maharaj and my fellow Bhagavatas allow me, I would like to expand on this wonderful Pasuram with the best of my lights, as shown by our Sri Sri Anna in his lectures as a separate satsanga. We will meet soon. Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. I would request one of our satsang brother or sister to sing this wonderful Hechariga song, and I would request you all to listen to that and visualize the wonderful procession of our Srinivasa Perumal in the broad side lane, Praharam, of our Tirumala. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami. Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai.